That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go. Wasn't tastemakers, make us no chaser. Gets the blood flowing like a fucking pacemaker.
Badass YouTube drama cast, original. And all the known land. Now it's time to see the shopping point, and Mr. Matt Pitts here. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Another Google Doc has hit the towers, Tommy.
I know. This is really the funniest Google Doc of all time. It has to be. It's like a dark or black comedy. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Basically, what I have to say about this is like normal people. When somebody dies you don't like, a couple ways you can handle it. You can be, I'm glad he's dead, right? That always rubs people the wrong way, even if the guy's a jackass. You can do it this way. Look, I ain't got nothing nice to say about that guy. Everybody knows my history, so I'm just not going to. He's gone, and I'm sure he had somebody who loved him. Bah! Cold, but reasonable. Or you could do an old-fashioned cancel the pedo type Google Doc. You can do an old-fashioned my artist didn't pay me type Google Doc. You could do an old-fashioned my work environment's toxic Google Doc. I mean, if you really think about it, who's the other guy? The guy who used to be really big, that had a big problem with, he was on lolcow. What's his name?
Christian?
No. Yeah, I wish he was on lolcow. The guy had a problem with his, the guy had a problem with his artist recently, or one of his editors, something like that.
Oh, Review Tech USA.
Yeah, like look what that guy wrote about. Like that's what he wrote. Like I haven't been treated well as a toxic work environment. Blah, blah. I have to see. I've seen it all. I thought I saw it all, but I got to be honest with you. I never thought I'd see the day where somebody would get this mad. And it's like somebody, I was just doing a
flip of that.
Thank you so much, Soban. I've been saying that BPD pussy is crazy for days. It's your fucking fault. Actually, it's not my fault. I stole it. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's had so much BPD pussy. I don't think I ever would have saw the day. I mean, good is less of a surprise. Good, I'm glad he's dead. You know. That I would see like a cancellation attempt, and one of the I just did a mini stream inside Discord for the paid fans, and I just like somebody brought up I think it was Jay. She brought up it's not like anybody's going around saying what a when somebody dies they all of a sudden become a good person and they weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen that before. And I can imagine if somebody had abused you, just how frustrating that could be. He wasn't a good guy. He fucking made my life miserable. Yeah, okay, I get that. Nobody's saying that! Nobody's saying he's a great guy. Not even his parents are going out of their way to say he's great. They're just saying they're hurt by all the rotten stuff that's being said, which is understandable, even if he is a rotten guy. Nobody's saying that. Like, it's not like this would almost be understandable. I can't believe this guy's legacy is going to be doing a good guy. I don't care how much shit I take. I'm writing a Google Doc. None of that happened. This is the funniest cancellation of all time. This is like Weekend at Bernie's, but cancellation. Like he's literally propping TwoMad up. It's so funny. It's so funny. And if I had to guess, right? If I had to guess, Jameski's probably. I know, and I know I'm burning a bridge here. It's not. I don't hate Jameskii by any stretch, but I cannot not point out how funny it is. It's not like we're like close friends or anything like that. I probably would have avoided this altogether if we were friends, But it's almost like Jameski's exactly what, especially when we interviewed Jamie Pine, exactly what TwoMad is, except like maybe minus the maybe minus the accusations and the airsoft guns. Like that's it. Like they're socially their entire world. There's no like both worlds. We're gonna talk about it a little bit on lolcow on Sunday. Like there's sort of like two worlds in the internet world, and things don't work in the real world like they do in the internet world. What's his name found that out? Magnetar, and vice versa. But there are those that only live here, and this that's when you get cool docs for dead people. And it wasn't like he was super fucking honest right away. The only reason anybody paid any attention to what he was saying, because some of the stuff he's saying didn't make sense. He's pointing like the bullet that was put through his so-called window, which we don't know was a bullet, by the way. And we had some gun guy come and testify here. Who knows if he's fucking telling the truth, that most rounds will shatter the glass, especially if they're close range. They have to be almost like far away. Wouldn't just leave a hole in there. Depends on the round, depends on a lot of things. So it was so important. So people, I think, sense this craziness. How many page document was this?
52, I think.
It's a short story. I gotta be honest with you. I am not going to bore you.
Clip of that?
For myself. Satan can confirm the allegations are true. He's dead, having a great time with Epstein and James Somerton. That might be the yeah. We should go back to what you call it of the day. Yeah. Like it is very difficult for me to grasp. What did Lerix say? Is that real, Lerix? It's insane that he blamed TwoMad for a random gunshot that was fired at his office and just assumed it was TwoMad. Yeah, like that's bizarre. I have no. I don't even like. After talking to both publicly and privately, Jamie, after talking privately to Clown, I can pretty much come to the conclusion, and just seeing the way that TwoMad behaved publicly, probably not the best guy in the world. Wasn't a secret. Probably not a great person. And then you have like Dull and Dark and Clown and Nerd City and all them basically telling him like, look, people are watching this shit. Like his family certainly don't deserve it. They're gonna get it anyway. I got news for them. They should just stay off the internet. But one thing I bet there's one thing they learned. I'm sure they're super happy that he's making tons of money. Being a clown, doing what he loved. But here's something that his parents know now that they probably, if I had to guess, didn't know: just how ruthless this business is of influencers. It's a completely ruthless, unforgiving, full to the brim with horrible people, just like Hollywood. Another group of people that can't seem to handle sex too well, just in the other way. And maybe, just maybe, I wonder if they're thinking we probably should discourage them from being an influencer, because it's insane and it's cutthroat, and it's you really don't have any friends. So I thought you got the I guess Tom did a synopsis, because I'm not going into every detail. I'm sure he made Jameskii's life a living hell. It's just hysterical that he would do this sort of little girl type cancellation of a guy that's basically paid the ultimate punishment for his behavior. He paid the consequences, dealt with. And I'm sure he had people going on like, you got to get off drugs, you got to do this, you got to do that. Yeah, sure, I'm sure. I do wonder if, after what I've learned about ketamine, I do wonder if he got a hold of fentanyl. That drug is amazing. That's a drug like science fiction movies came out with like in the 80s. You just do it a few times and you die. You know,
you can die just by touching it. If it gets in your skin and you don't have the tolerance,
you would figure like the drugs are a good time. That I never thought a drug that lethal would get like popular, and it is. Yeah, that is amazing in itself. Like it's literally poison. Like heroin by itself isn't poison. I think there's a few things you can do with it. Cocaine by itself isn't poison. I think there's a few things you can do with it. This stuff is like poison.
Yeah,
like straight up poison. It can kill cops that are arresting a guy that has it. I mean, it is really unbelievable. What is the high feeling like with that? You have any idea?
I mean, I can't really give you a description of what fentanyl feels like, but if it's anything
what have you heard?
Like, that it's just like 10 times better than heroin, I guess. Like it's just like a opioid fucking.
I know one guy. I don't know if I believe him. Yeah, I believe him. He said he tried heroin once, right? I think he smoked it. He didn't inject it, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, "What was it like?" He's like, "A warm blanket of love."
Yeah.
I'm like, you kidding me? And that's what he said it with such conviction.
Pretty sure I'm the one who told you that.
No, I know who it was, and I don't speak to him anymore.
But I mean, I've described opioids like that. It's like a very warm. It's like you're sleeping on a cloud, and you have like this warm blanket, and then you're in a good mood all the time, and everything is awesome. That's what it feels like.
What could be better than that? Death. You know, it's to my understanding, it's so dangerous because of how potent it is. It's super easy to OD. Yeah, I know. Well, I never did heroin. I've never done cocaine yet. I'm sure a lot of people don't believe that.
Told me that.
Yeah, I've never done coke. I knew I'd get hooked on coke. Stay up all the time, do what you want. Ew, not my thing. That definitely would have killed me. Obviously, I have heart issues. It tastes like melted plastic and makes the room spin. That doesn't sound like fun. I don't know. Just drinking, just kind of passe nowadays, huh? I guess I'm a prude, you know. So can you send me the Turkey Tom? I guess he does bullet points. I'm going to read this.
It's in your DMs.
I'm going to take him literally, because I ain't doing 6-hour stream. I don't give a shit that much. Oh man, I just think it's funny that
TwoMad Google Doc. He's dead. The end.
Yeah, he's gone. Like I think instead of telling the whole world he was a garbage can, which most people, like normal people outside of like crazy fans, you know, I changed. Oh man, something went wrong. We're gonna do this shit again. I changed my DNS last time and it worked. I wonder if I can do that. Yeah, I think I can do that midstream. DNS, yeah, Cloudflare. While we go to, I don't know, open DNS. Do the Googles. Yeah, that works. Nothing. Is Twitter down? Are you having an issue with Twitter?
No, I got it up.
Pain in the ass. Yeah, it's the second time today that this happened. Yeah, my DNS is acting goofy. Yeah, last time I just changed the DNS and it went up immediately. But I can't even go over this until I figure out the problem here. Super. Unless you want to read.
Yeah, I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So Turkey Tom quote tweeted the Jameskii Google Doc and said, "All right." So I read the whole thing. Definitely affirms TwoMad was crazy. Dude said he thought he might kill someone on accident while full schizo mode high. Explicitly said he wanted to kill people who were far away. Definitely a real nut near the end. Gonna put more replies explaining the rest. Even said he was scared he might pull a McSkillet, young YouTuber who lost his mind and drove his McLaren into a mother and child, literally vaporizing them. Dude was definitely a crazy, apathetic narcissist. Just no way around it. Beyond that, I doubt Jameskii feared for his own well-being. At TwitchCon, it was honestly justified given how nuts TwoMad was. I don't doubt Jameskii feared for his own well-being. And
He doesn't doubt it. Okay.
Yeah. And you can't deny he also relentlessly harassed Goldie Bell, spamming her constantly and pressured her into sex. This much he all admits himself. As far as TwoMad being a pedophile, this is completely unsubstantiated. James claims there was a criminal investigation going on, and he doesn't want to reveal the identity.
Yes, and he's lying. That's another thing.
The
other political criminal investigation, because Jameskii doesn't understand what a fucking restraining order is in the United States. We've already established that, but I'm sure that's bullshit too. But go ahead.
To protect them from public scrutiny and having them harassed by the internet. This is entirely possible, but given I have zero evidence that the girls even exist or that TwoMad messaged them, never mind groomed anyone, he's innocent until proven guilty. James basically refused to provide proof, so shrug. I don't blame anyone for giving Jameskii shit for publicly calling a dead man a pedophile and then providing no evidence. Ultimately, in the end, I am left with more questions than answers, and I don't think I'll ever know the story.
Oh, kind of like the first time. Like the whole point is that like everything you said is, even if he's a pedophile, let's say like Jameskii produced, like, so what? So what? Good, he's dead. I don't believe that for a minute, by the way. I think Jameskii's a lot like the douchebag we probably covered yesterday, and has that sort of frame of mind, because, like, you know, we're talking about living online and living off and offline and how the rules, and there's some people that just can't, they start to get the world confused. Usually the influencers themselves, because that's where they make their money, that's where they interact, that's where their life takes place. I can identify with that to a certain extent, but what saved me is nothing like a platform came my way until I was well into my 30s. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way. I had to get laid the old-fashioned way, like have a personality. I had to meet people the old-fashioned way, talk. And hope for the best. You know, I had to make friends the old-fashioned way. Get picked on until you're respected, or get in a fight or whatever. And everybody's like, oh, man. Like all those normal growth things that young influencers are allowed to, like, sort of skip over. You know. So people ask me if I'm going to give Tommy a computer and let him stream. Yeah, right. Be a lot of money in it for me, too. Probably. Be a lot of money in it. No way. 18. Then you can ruin your life after that and ruin your reputation. Actually, if he's going to school, I probably wouldn't even let him. I'm paying for school if that's happening. Because if he does something stupid online, especially like you'll never get a job. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, I mean, look at Wings. He's got an army of people that want to make sure that he dies homeless. And that's not an exaggeration. Yeah. Yeah. Like anybody who's been a fan of this show for a long time, you've seen people pull stunts on me, like Lifer Nation and shit like that. Yeah. It's possible. Tommy gave you played you played Battlefront 2. Do I got Battlefront 2? Really? I got to play the other one first. Maybe I'll play that. Maybe I'll play one of those games afterwards.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, so it's just bizarre to me. Don't speak of the dead. Now look at my 12-page Google Doc on TwoMad sucks. It is weird. Like, I think it really says more about him and issues that he's got to deal with. And maybe that's how he's dealing with it, you know, because he's just stuck online. Like somebody's death isn't enough to you won. You won. He literally no, he didn't literally do it. He figuratively set a corpse on fire. Like, what's the point? I hated that guy. Like, that's amazing. And that's all Tom had to say?
He says, ultimately, in the end, I am left with more questions than answers. And I don't think I'll ever know the full story what happened now that he's gone. And in fairness, even when he was here, TwoMad wasn't very good at explaining fucking anything. Whatever the case, I find it pretty sad that one of the most talented creators of the last 5 years died in the way he started.
Sure.
Alone in his bedroom playing Overwatch. Ultimately, if he wanted help, he would have really tried to break the cycle, but he didn't. Baba Booey, GG, Wakanda, look at the fucking pigment. Okay.
Baba Booey. Lerix is here. What do you have to say?
Hey man, what's up? No,
Yeah.
I've been just I've been covering this pretty extensively and
How do you how do you do it? How? I can't like how? I know why. I know why, but how?
I guess I'm not like crazy worn out by it yet.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining though
It
to
is.
see to get like the huge outrage on Twitter, and I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying. So it's not like
There's people out there that I really dislike. That it wouldn't affect me one way or another if they went on to the next plane. I can't imagine like screaming at the top of my lungs saying, "This guy was no fucking good." Like, it's so weird. Like, am I alone in this world?
It was less than 30 minutes before the public news came out. He made that tweet being like, I don't want to see any sympathy for this guy. He's a rapist, pedophile, and tried to fucking murder me. Like, that's insane.
So it's insane to think he can control, because even let's say he had rock solid evidence, there's always gonna be one guy. He wasn't that bad. You're a liar. And that's the thing. Like, even his friends. I really highly recommend. Could you find the To Be Honest TwoMad episode? TBH.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to put that in the chat. I think the best two insights of who this guy was, if you give a fuck, because I don't anymore, is basically my interview with Jamie Pine. Yeah, I think so, because Jamie really loved him, and Jamie knew he was sick, and he doesn't exactly say good things about him, right? He just basically says, yeah, I know who he was, but he was my friend and I loved him, and lots of people have relationships like that, and listen to Dolan, listen to Nerd City, listen to Clown, the people that tried to help him, tried to do everything they could for this guy. This guy was not short on people trying to help him. I don't believe that. And I think you should go check that episode out. Check the Jamie Pine. And if you care, that's who he was. As fair a situation as you can give. And it's bizarre. That's not enough for Jameskii. It makes him look like a psychopath.
No, exactly. Like, this guy's already guilty of being a harasser, even sexual harasser, like schizophrenic, like mental patient. But he has to go farther. It's like you have to take it to the ultimate extreme. He has to also be an attempted murderer, pedophile, rapist. It's like, dude, is it not good enough? When is it ever going to be good enough?
Well, and that's the thing, man. That's an issue he's got to deal with. Like, it sounds like he has like a real thing. Maybe he's got some girls say, I got PTSD. Fuck off. Maybe Jameskii does have some like legit PTSD. I don't know
if you're aware, but ever since 2019, TwoMad and Jameskii had a drama back then because they used to be friends. They fell out as friends. Yeah. And they had a bizarre like drama back and forth. TwoMad ended up coming out on top. And since then, he's had a personal vendetta against him since 2019.
And being dead isn't enough?
Nope. He doesn't want to see any sympathy. He had to completely hijack the story to make sure that like everyone was pissing on his grave as opposed to celebrating him. It's pretty bizarre.
I feel like changing the name of this thing. I'm changing the name of the title. TwoMad was a good guy.
Okay, buddy.
But I mean,
Jameskii's a liar.
Yeah. I mean, no, but that's just like the craziest part is, I know you definitely didn't go over the document. I'm probably one of 50 people who's ever going to go over it.
You imagine being that? I gotta know who he was. I'm really interested. What's your insight? Yeah, I'm interested in what you have to say because I don't want to read it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I mean, he comes out 27 minutes after the guy gets announced dead. He makes a tweet saying, I could finally say it. TwoMad's a rapist, pedophile, and tried to fucking murder me, as well as preyed on a 13-year-old girl. In the document, there's no mention of this 13-year-old girl at all. Really? And the 13-year-old girl came out and said, hey, you know what? I see a lot of people trying to like use my story to go against TwoMad. This isn't the case. He never had any creepy behavior with me, no sexual nature.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I don't know. You weren't aware of seeing that.
No. I wonder if my audience is super aware. Anybody that's not watching you, I can't imagine my audience is too aware of that either. I had no idea. Like, why? That's so weird too. Because like, first of all, the statement itself, I can finally say it. We couldn't say it last week. Or it's bullshit last week. You could be like, because if he did it the week before, everybody would be like, yeah, where's your evidence? I have none. So he did it, and when people say, where's your evidence? It doesn't matter. Now because he's gone. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't defame somebody that's not breathing.
And after this, and after the girl came out, conveniently, in his full fleshed out response, he never mentions the 13-year-old girl ever again, even though he put it in his initial statements. He got caught completely lying about this girl. And other friends, even in the friend group, said, hey, you know, I knew both these people. You know, it is weird as fuck. Apparently, they had like some Overwatch friend group online, like Discord, suspicious like friend group. Why are you even friends in the vicinity of a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
That's absolutely a red flag.
Sure.
But doesn't make him instantly a
sure, and
pedophile.
it also, you know, it depends on the group too, because I can't imagine when I was playing H1Z1, there was a whole group of us and speak. I guarantee there was a few 15 and 16-year-olds in there, you know, but there was no hanging out. There was like, hey, you want to put 5 together so we can play a match, you know. That's as far as it went. Maybe it was something
you
like
gotta,
that.
you gotta show predatory behavior. You gotta show something at all.
Yeah.
And he just never mentioned it again because, I mean, the masses aren't even going to question it.
I come to think of it, I played COD when I played COD with Augie when he was like 16. Like
Dude,
it doesn't
you were
mean
preying
anything
on him, bro.
Yeah,
Watch out for Jameskii.
Rude as a yeah, right.
Don't die anytime soon.
Yeah, I think you say like Connor and they were both teenagers, still in high school when we were playing COD. You know, like whoa, you know.
And outright, just like calling him a rapist, pedophile, and the whole like the document is literally just trust me, bro. That's the document.
I guess he just had to get that out. I mean, maybe he's not dealing with his death like real well, or maybe he just can't take an L. It's just that bad that he just can't take an L. And nobody, if you would ask me whether TwoMad or fucking Jameskii, who came out on top on the drama, if you would ask me, I wouldn't be able to tell you. And I pay attention to this stupid stuff.
Well, Jameskii did now. He won.
Yeah, Jameskii won.
Last one standing, bitch.
Like no one will ever like. I can't see Jameskii. Maybe he just had to spit this out because he's never really been too involved with drama. He doesn't really call out other YouTubers or anything like that. But if he was going to accuse somebody, let's say like he ran into a situation where it's like legit. And he wanted to expose it online. You can't believe him. He's got no credibility. He lied about TwoMad.
None. Yeah.
Like none. He's got no credibility.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, I see people like, I think you even said a little bit of it too, and I see Nick saying like, dude, who really kind of cares? I mean, he's dead anyway. But it's like, yeah, that's true. It's not like a story where you're trying to vindicate someone because obviously there's nothing to be vindicated. I think it's still important to like correct the record. You know
I agree. No.
Legacy,
I agree with that. I think the story is not. I don't think the story is TwoMad was a bad guy like he thinks it was. I think the story is Jameskii telling the truth. And the more he does these docs, the more he makes these inflammatory statements, the more people want to know, is Jameskii telling the truth? So it's less about TwoMad and more about like he thinks he's pushing TwoMad in the spotlight in a Weekend at Bernie's way, and then things will kind of correct themselves. But really he's pushed himself.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, you say like it's never good enough for him, and that's the craziest part is that he legitimately has a case. There's so many real critiques of TwoMad to show he's a harasser, sexual harasser, stalker, freak who should probably be in, like, if he was still alive, mental institution, not allowed like out in the public because he's a drug addict, whatever. You know, so you have a real story, but just that isn't good enough. You also have to prescribe like every little thing to him to say he's guilty of. Pedophile, rapist, tried to murder you. A random bullet hole in my office window is now his fault too.
If that's by the way, if that's a bullet hole.
I know, right?
Yeah, if that's a bullet hole. You know, you
Dude, he posted his medical records for when he had to go to the emergency room as if like TwoMad is responsible for this.
Well, here's the thing. I go to the emergency right now and said it has something to do with you said to me now. It doesn't mean anything. It just means I went to the emergency room. I can say you said something so cruel that I had some kind of like meltdown, right? And I was freaking out, and my wife made me go to the emergency. That doesn't mean you're responsible for any of that.
That's his whole tactic, though. He's speaking in purposely vague terms for someone to assume the worst. That's his whole tactic.
And then you have to ask yourself, like, why? Because, like I said, this is like I'm not caring about TwoMad because you can't put a guy in a spotlight that's dead, you know. And I'm just thinking
he just literally hates him.
Wow, man, I hope I never hate anybody that much.
Like personal vendetta, and the minute like since 2019 they had their drama publicly, he got shit on, and the moment that TwoMad got accused by this Goldie Bell girl, he instantly hopped on that case and offered to pay her legal funds. That's how much he hates this guy. That's
that in itself doesn't seem so bad. If you think the guy is skipped out and there's some justice need to be had, and you want to put your money where your mouth is,
it just shows a pattern, I guess.
Yeah, that just shows a pattern.
And more just using
that in
her
itself,
as like a pawn to get at the guy you already had a personal.
Yeah, but that in itself, it would depend on what happened to him prior to that. That itself, but it's now everything that's happened past. They found this guy stiff next to that stupid Overwatch song playing in a fucking loop. Can you imagine? Like, that's like a movie scene, for Christ's sakes. And you read it, and there he is, stiff on the fucking ground. That's not enough. That's not enough. Right?
No, it's not. It's not
enough. Oh my God, he's mentally ill.
You know,
I'll say it right now. I think James, seriously mentally ill. I mean, like,
yeah,
who else would do
absolutely.
that? Who else would do it? You know,
he's like saying that, like, TwoMad, you're an obsessive stalker. You're constantly talking about me.
Hold
on, like, this is kind of a two-way street.
Here's another.
I mean,
thing
I'm agreeing
too.
with you with TwoMad, but it's also look in the mirror.
Here's another thing. What was stopping him from saying this shit?
His excuse is like the legal case, since there's an active legal thing.
That's bullshit. No, that's bullshit too. We looked into the legal case. It's a goddamn restraining order. There's no legal case. There never was.
Oh yes, like civil case or something.
Oh, he has a civil case. Why hasn't he shown any paperwork for that? He has a civil case against him since 2019.
Since 2019, no. Recently, at the TwitchCon incident, he filed a restraining order.
Yeah, they're saying that's the civil.
That's not. No, it isn't. Restraining order is like this, right? Because I have one against me. All right, you show up to court. They tell you not to go to this next to this person again, and that's it. There's no the idea behind the restraining order is like not to to give the courts a bit of a break and not throw absolutely everybody in jail, because people are gonna have fucking domestic incidents all the time. So they have this kind of thing. It's like a big fucking warning. If you violate this, you'll go to jail. It's not a case. It's not a case. It's completely separate from things. So you get the restraining order if you violate. It's like a warning. Restraining order is a warning. Right? And here's another thing. How many he's a drug addict, he belongs in jail, and he probably does. How many people do we have walking around in the United States, that probably should be in jail because they're on drugs? Too many to fucking jail. So, like, what makes TwoMad so fucking special? He's a drug addict.
And do you know the way he's twisting this? He's
What?
purposely twisting for everyone to assume the worst about this restraining order, where he said that in February, it was just a matter of the police station or whatever, like, filing out the paperwork to get the warrant for his arrest. But then, unfortunately, TwoMad OD'd and killed himself.
That's not the way. The restraining orders don't work that way. It doesn't even work. He's got to violate, and then they go pick him up.
Yeah. No, here's the thing, though. He had a restraining order. He then violated the restraining order. That is valid. It seems like he genuinely was going to be arrested for that. But here's the thing. Jameskii is speaking in purposely vague terms to act like he was going to be arrested for pedophilia, rape, and attempting a murder.
So he probably was going to get arrested.
Vague, so people assume that he's getting arrested for that.
That shows you how not serious it is. That's how he shows you how not serious it is, because they probably look...
violating a restraining order. That's
it's it. And they, you know what? If that came in on Friday, the cops are like, well, we'll pick him on Monday. I'm taking the weekend off. like that's how not serious it is. It would be different if this was a situation where as a guy used to, because they're really designed for couples, you know, and guys. The reason the whole restraining order, I think, is a kind of an '80s phenomenon. The reason it all came about is these guys, they'd get arrested or something, they'd go back and kill their wives. Right. The idea is the restraint, and then not all cases does a guy. I don't think every pushing and shoving match between a man and a woman should end up in prison, and I think everybody got sick of it. And because first of all, the guy always got, so they had this restraining order to kind of mitigate it a little bit. It's not what he thinks it is, and it makes me think like he's probably lying, that he knows it's not as serious, but he's trying to tie all this other stuff to it.
Exactly. He's trying to tie everything else around it. And that's why he first mentioned rape, pedophile, attempted murder. And then you mentioned, and also he was about to get arrested. So it's like, hold on. The average person looking at that, who's not going to,
and he knows that. That's deliberate.
He knows they're going to assume it.
He knows it's deliberate. It's deliberate.
He's like, this is the last guy who should be spearheading.
I don't see anybody on my team. Now, me and you have different fans. I don't see anybody on my timeline like, oh my God, Jameskii was right. They're mostly like goofing on him for making the thing to begin with. Like, and it sounds like it's more about him than it is about TwoMad to begin with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's all about, in his document, I read through the whole fucking 52 pages yesterday. In his document, he's like complaining about, I also had to like pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in court. It's like, yeah, dude, welcome to court. You want to try to get someone locked up?
He's lying.
He said he had to go in debt for this. He had to go pay.
He's lying. He is lying. You know what? You know what it costs to file a restraining order?
What's that?
You don't even need a lawyer to do it.
Well, maybe there's another civil case.
Maybe there is, or maybe like the rest of the stuff, it's fucking horseshit. He can't show that either.
I think what it is he hired a lawyer to possibly do a civil case, and they didn't get to it yet. He was in the process of hiring a lawyer.
No, he doesn't have to pay the $100,000 now. He just has to pay the retainer, and it's done. And they'll tell me it's $100,000 right off the bat for what? You can't sue a guy for being a pedophile. It's a criminal offense.
And this is why I think Jameski's so mad, because he went into a debt. Apparently, he lost so much fucking money, and TwoMad's just dead now. I don't know if he's gonna get money.
If he went to debt, it's probably for another reason. I don't believe for a minute.
He said he had to like sell his car or something.
Oh, fucking, it's horseshit. Yeah, and he's a pedophile.
This is all about himself.
Yeah, it's all about
this
himself.
document.
I guarantee everything you just heard is a fabrication of some kind. That makes zero sense.
I wouldn't be surprised. He has no credibility.
Yeah,
he completely destroyed his credibility. And
well, he's supposed to be he's like TwoMad. He's supposed to be a comedian, so maybe that doesn't matter to him. I mean, he doesn't have to do this stuff, so I'm sure he'll be fine, I guess. But who would want the shadow of TwoMad hanging over him the rest of it? And it will. Like, that's another thing too. If he'd have kept his mouth haunting him, yeah, exactly. If he'd have kept his mouth shut, now Jameski's the guy who hated TwoMad for the rest of his life. Because every time you're gonna bring up Jameskii from now on, what did you bring up Jameskii before? Like, do you know the way? That was him. Right? Now it's the TwoMad guy.
Do you know the way to TwoMad's grave?
Let's dig him up and yell at him. Jesus Christ.
And I know I've probably been like pretty fucking annoying on Twitter, but like after he put out this tweet, I was scrolling through the document really quick and I saw there was no mention of this 13-year-old girl. So I come into his replies and I'm like, hey man, why is there no mention of this 13-year-old girl you said he preyed on in your first tweet? Instantly blocked.
You drama whore.
I mean, granted, I don't really, I am doing this for this content. That's very much known, but like, it raises some questions. I mean, I'm sure like
how dare you question
him? Just thinks I'm annoying, but like, come on. I mean, if you're saying you preyed on a 13-year-old girl and there's no mention in your 52-page document, I think I'm not just like calling him a retard in his comment section. I'm legitimately asking.
I think that both of them are really schizophrenic, and I think TwoMad was just more than him. I think they're both nuts. They're both similar type of creators. I think they're both insane, right? And then TwoMad probably won his little battle with him because he was crazier than Jameskii.
I mean, I think you got to be like a certain type of person too to like sacrifice like a good deal of your life to this kind of thing. This apparently went on for like 4 or 5 years, and Jameskii apparently spent a whole bunch of fucking money on this just over like this TwoMad guy. I don't know. I think like you also got to be a specific type of person to not be a cop, not be any kind of investigator, and dedicate that much time and money out of your life to this.
Like all the evidence that we're supposed to like. And another thing is the belief that you can control the narrative. That's weird too. Like there's always going to be some outlier, even if you're right, that's going to say fucking horrible shit. Like, and he's like, I just want to make sure this never gets like he's chasing a dragon. He's never gonna catch it. I
think he's just so he's so convinced he's like morally righteous for this, and that's why this. Like,
imagine he just looks like an idiot.
Doing a really good thing.
He looks like an idiot that fucking is obsessed with a dead guy. That's what he looks
completely.
Like. All right, that's probably it. Hey, you guys want to bring in some calls or anything? I don't have that much. It's Friday. It's usually kind of thin. I was thinking of doing an after show after this, but if you want to stick around there, so you have to get out of here, it's up to you. And then I'll just take some questions. I don't really even care if it's about TwoMad or not.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna call him real quick though. I appreciated that.
All right, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you. Kind of, you see my touch. Yo, Noob, you're on the air. I think it's Noob. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Tell me.
I want to say straight off the bat, fucking Jameskii is a coward, bro. He wants to get the last word and then a fucking dead crackhead, bro. What the fuck?
It does kind of look like that, though. Like, you weren't...
No, literally, he's an egomaniac, mate.
They both
Quite
were.
Frankly.
That's
like you said,
Yeah, they both
The thing is, you said maybe Jameskii's mentally ill. Okay,
yeah.
we know that TwoMad was.
Yeah.
Jameskii's not going to come out and say he is. But the way he's acting, I don't know. Yeah. There's so many questions that... There's more questions that arise from this about Jameskii rather than TwoMad. It's the worst possible movie.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of good
people.
He doesn't have a lot of good people in his corner. If he had good people in his corner, they'd be like, James, let it go, man.
Jameskii has never had good people in the corner. Not even back when the community was a thing.
Oh, really?
Well, when his community was a monolith. No, I mean he's always been a fucking he's been a bottom feeder forever. I think he's kind of a fucking cook, really.
Do you think that's what attracted TwoMad to begin with? Do you think that's what got them together? Because they are similar type of personalities.
I think it was just happenstance, really.
Really? That's
TwoMad was always going to be like necessarily bigger than Jameskii anyway. Jameskii's just fucking jealous.
Oh, okay. I don't know. TwoMad.
The whole thing's just dirty, if you ask me.
It's just funny.
I don't know. Jameskii's a piece of shit.
All right. Anything else?
He could have. No, yeah, the thing is, a 52-page fucking document, bro. 52 pages. He could have. If he was a real man, he could have came out with. You want to make something long about him, right? 3 pages. Simplify it. You literally. He
really didn't have to say anything. I think he thought he was going to fix whatever he did the first time. Yeah, he really didn't have to say anything ever.
No.
He could have even said, that guy gave me hell, I ain't got a nice thing, and I don't want to hear anybody saying anything nice about him. They don't know anything. I would have accepted that. I would have ignored it, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, no, that guy was awful.
Get exposure, fair dues.
Yeah.
Just be. I mean, I guess if he's a piece of shit, whatever. Speaking of the dead, I don't fucking care. But when it comes to your own personal representation, if you fucking obviously can't evaluate coming out with a 52-page document about a dead man and what that will look like for you, you are flat out retarded.
I don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. There's something weird going on. I hope Jameskii's okay. Like I said, he's never been nothing but nice to me. But I mean, this is hysterical. I mean, like anybody this obsessed, like he's taking his clothes off in public and everybody's staring and laughing at him. Like I don't think he realizes that. And I hope he can get over it, man, because I do believe him that the guy, like everybody I talk to, is consistent with like James. Some of the things Jameskii says is consistent with what I've heard from people that aren't crazy, So like I don't know, it just affected him a lot more than them. All right, let me take some other calls. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, peace out, Tommy.
Yeah, peace out, man. Take care. Billy Bones, Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah, what's happening, bro?
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Matt.
You tell me.
Yo, what's up?
So, it's hard to. It's just baffling. Not only Jameskii, but just how this fat black retard can just go from just bombing Zoom calls to just making an ass out of himself to just like as far down as he went within 5 years.
Hey, you know what it is? I don't know. It could be because I'm old, but I mean, to me, this is the normal evolution of a drug addict. So it doesn't surprise me very much. And I don't want to sound cold because like it's tragic when young people get hooked on drugs and die young. It really is. I mean that when I say it. But it's also like, if you play in the Jersey Turnpike long enough, you get hit by a car. And that's tragic too in its own way. But I'm numb to drug deaths at this point in my life. I'm totally numb. And I think if you're younger and you didn't know anybody that died this way, this is probably really like, it should be like sort of a wake up call. Like, yeah, this is really fucking real and it can really fuck you up. And it can ruin shit. So yeah, I take it as a teachable moment. My favorite things. One of my favorite things on the planet. But like what happened to TwoMad was to be expected, unfortunately. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. It's usually what it is. It's like you hear a tragedy every once in a while. You're like, it wrenches your heart. But you see the spiral. You're like,
I had a guy I was in the army with. He did a lot of drugs and he's dead now. And like, I was older when I went in the army. I was 27, but. I was really sad when I heard about it, but I pretty much wasn't surprised when I heard about it. Because I just seen it so many times, and like, I think like celebrity deaths and celebrity ODs, they're pretty common. I feel like they were more common when I was younger. And then we got a break from them for a while, and then since who was that black rapper that died? Well, he got killed. He was shot to death. But we had a slew of those SoundCloud rappers check out early. Yeah, and it seems like it's back again. Artists are ODing again. It's like the old days. But see, it just doesn't. Yeah, like these people in there, they lost too. I mean, everybody loses somebody to this stuff. It's worse than cancer. In some ways.
But it's like in comparison, my dad, who's a bit older, when Shane McGowan of the Pogues died, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe it. He's gone."
What? Really? Really?
You saw the documentary where he couldn't
that guy lived too fucking. I couldn't believe he wasn't dead. Like if you would have told me Shane McGowan died last year, I would have like, oh, I missed that. Oh, how did I miss that? I was just like, really? The way that guy drank, the way the guy had his fucked up teeth.
He's got his teeth fucking knocked in by the police. Yeah, I don't know. Nick Cave lasted longer.
You see the songs he sang? You know? Talking about beating on his wife at Christmas. He wrote a Christmas song about getting in a fight with his wife.
That's the most Irish Christmas.
Yeah, I know. It's Christmas in New York. Get out of here, you filthy whore. All right, thanks for the call. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Fucking Sean McCowan. I actually grew up in England. Most people don't know that. Hang site, you're on the air.
Yo, dude. Okay,
I was surprised when you got hit by a car. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't think you deserved that. I don't think you did anything to deserve that. Yeah.
Anything better than TwoMad not being dead, all right?
Yeah.
But,
how do you feel as a fellow black man? This young influencer was taken away from us way too early.
You know, I think Jameskii is pretty obsessed with TwoMad, and it's kind of gay for him. I mean, that's why he's thinking about him all the time. That's kind of weird, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's just fucking bizarre. I don't know what else can be even said about it.
I mean, what more can you do? The guy is like not around anymore. What more can you get out of wanting to blame him?
Because he wants to control what people think, which is kind of creepy if you think about it. You know, he wants to make sure he doesn't want you saying. I'll tell you what he doesn't want you saying. And I should have figured this out in the beginning of the cast. He doesn't want you. He wants you to be afraid to say, "I love that guy's content. I thought that guy was funny." He doesn't want you to be able to separate the artist from the art. You know. Because that bothers him. Because you know what? Because this whole thing's probably about him. And TwoMad will probably have, like, he's kind of a legend now. You know? Like, yeah, a guy was super crazy, totally fucked up. And maybe that explains the pedophile stuff, because you really can't say, although unless it's Michael Jackson, you really can't say, I really love that pedophile's music. You sound nuts. You know? So maybe that's why he's throwing that on top of it, because he's trying to control it. I think that's what I think I figured it out. He's trying to control the narrative to the point where you, the individual, are embarrassed to say you like this content. Because by dying, he makes himself like, you know, he goes in the Hall of Memes. Right next to Ugandan Knuckles. You know?
And he would know. He's the one that created Ugandan Knuckles. He would know a thing or two about.
Like, and now TwoMad that's bigger than that. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out, that stream you did yesterday, dude, that girl crying was the lowest form of overacting cues I've ever seen in my life.
Think so?
Like, that was pitiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that guy tapped out. He almost. I don't feel too bad for George Conrad because he tapped out and he's a coward. And even if it's true, and it does make a certain amount. Everybody's saying that I know is like Dream made him tap out. And if you think about it, it puts him in a terrible situation, because if he doesn't tap out, then Dream doesn't work with him, and he's fucked either way. So he's catch-22. You know? But you know what I would have done? I would have done Dream dirty in that situation. I would have went out and said, yeah, I'll condemn him. I didn't do shit, and Dream's trying to make me do it, and then you make yourself the story. That might have been a much better move. But then you have to make a move on Dream and hope you can survive it. Yeah. Yeah. But if somebody put me in that spot, I might think about it. Hey, actually, I'll probably do it. I'm damned if I do. I gotta admit to something. I gotta admit to sexual assault, which never happened, right?
Well, you'll be damned you do, and you'll be damned you don't, kind of thing.
I take the third way: annihilate everyone and everything. That's my third way. Talk to you later. Thanks for the call.
Right, have a good one.
Good call. Regurgitator, you're on the air. He actually changed his name to Regurgitator.
No, No, someone changed it. I don't know
I
who.
did. Oh, that's right. I think it was me.
You asshole.
That's right. What's on your mind, regurgitator?
Well, I don't know anything about the TwoMad, so I just want to came here and talk about like the Gamergate 2 shit that's happening.
Go ahead, tell me. I'll give you as much as I can tolerate, but go ahead.
So basically, it all started with like some employee from Sweet Baby Inc. Finding like a Steam group of where they detect which games the company were involved in, and that said employee was mad, went to Twitter, and basically tweeted out to mass flag not only the group but the owner of that said group's account, basically wanting to ban the guy's account. And that's all. Yeah, that's all hellfire broke loose.
Okay.
I can send you the screenshot. Hang on, let me see.
Gamergate 2 going crazy.
Yeah, and it's like apparently there's like a lot of gaming journalists siding with Sweet Baby Inc. and
it's the same fucking thing. It really is Gamergate 2 because it's the same. This is a harassment campaign, and no, it's just some Brazilian guy started a group and said that these guys are woke losers. Pip, cheerio, Tommy. I think there's a bit of free time in your hands. What time is good to do lolcow live episode? Thanks, Gov. You really should fix your mic, bruv. Nothing wrong with my mic, is there?
No, you're fine.
No.
You're good.
Pip. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. By the way, unfortunately. All right, what did you send me? Let me see. You didn't send me anything yet. You had plenty of time. Fucking totally covered for you, so I didn't have to have silence on the goddamn air, and then you didn't send me.
It was literally on my Twitter feed. I don't know where it is now.
You know what? I don't believe you. I don't know. Good. I'm glad Gamergate 2's happening. Whatever aggravates those woke idiots.
The weird thing is, like, the journalists won it, and apparently, there's like an article of the FBI and Department of Homeland Security involved in.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, like the Homeland Security, FBI, CIA, they're all just fucking wings of the Democratic Party now.
Yeah,
trying to enforce
the ADL as well. Although
at least they're a political organization. I can almost understand that. That's perfectly fucking legal. But the fact that the government's like trying to shape narratives of video games and stuff is frightening. And actually is. Yeah, let me see it. I hope it's fucking entertaining.
Sending you on right now.
Regurgitated
messages.
Well, this guy, you suck at this.
Yeah.
We kick him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think you earned it, dude.
All right, send you.
Too long. All right. What Captain Poover, Tommy, is it really Gamergate 2? Nathan Grayson's writing articles against it. Is he really? Oh God, talk about like Hellbent, you're on here. Hellbent?
Yo, Hellbent.
Are you bent to hell?
Oh, she's called in before.
Okay, I'll take Zeta Hunter. Go ahead.
Yes. All right. So, whatchamacallit? I joined I found out that your server, you have a Discord server. So I was just yesterday, I was schizo posting all of the possible people in the Minecraft thing, and I've nailed it down because I hung out with this girl who was just an obsessed freak over Rambo, and I think it's the
Rambo?
ones I.
Well, you're talking about something I don't know anything about. What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's a whole Minecraft drama.
Well, how can I know what you're talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no, sorry. Whole Minecraft drama. So it all started with Wilbur, obviously, and
the Wilbur one. Okay, now I know it. Okay, the Wilbur.
Okay, so should have started with that. I found this thread like debunking the majority of the second girl's allegations, and
Wilbur was the biter.
The first guy.
He's the biter, right?
Yes, the biter.
He was their guy, and then you have a list. Oh, this is so funny. You have UK Brighton Co, Turbo, Rambo, Tommy Innit, Amesy. Tommy Innit is actually pretty talented. Amesy, Bilzo, Freddy, Max GG's. Okay, that's it. And the American Dream, George, Snap, and Bad Boy Halo. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what's your point with all your schizo posting?
My point is that they're the biggest. Dream, George, Sam. They're obviously the biggest.
Yeah, they're biggest.
They are all hated by the UK crew's fandom for one reason or another. I think it all started with like the Dream pedo allegations.
Yeah.
And they haven't let go of that. So I think they're trying to just dethrone them to put someone.
I think so. I mean, it looks like it. I can't take any of this seriously. You know, it wouldn't shock me a bit at all, especially with Max GG's like behavior. Like I'm gonna give you a fact right now, and then he just goes on to say everything that people are criticizing for are not true and provides nothing. And that's supposedly an undisputable fact. So I mean, yeah, like I don't even think it's that much of a conspiracy.
This might be a circumstantial, but on the Bugs girl, the one that accused George, the quality was bad, so I could barely even see her actually crying. So I don't know if that's
I think you're way too into this.
I hate them. I want to see them.
Well, don't be. You sound like you're going to become one of them. Who cares?
No, because I care because.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's fair to say that they were trying to shift the narrative because it's just as simple. An assault never happened, and they're lying about assault because tickling somebody's stomach is not an assault.
That's what really tripped me up, and it's the public reaction that I don't understand.
I don't know. You're dealing with a bunch of stupid kids. You're not going to like. There's no like Nick DiOrio, Tommy C combo, Muda combo that's going to shift anybody. These guys are some. Look at Dreams. Dreams' audience is some of the wildest fucking wackos on. Yeah, so like I assume they're of the same mindset, even though they're UK side, right?
I think what would be like the best to start shifting them would be just a moderate take, like not full on one side or the other. Like
no, we don't. No, you need clout. You would need more clout than them, and very few people have more clout than Dream.
Which is the difficult part.
You remember when Dream first got hot? Everybody's bitching and moaning, like, because I mean, he is like, I could totally buy that he told George to tap, you know, because he always tapped himself. Like he's only telling him to do what he would have done in his situation. Just admit to something you didn't do. There you go, bud.
something. I know I'm going on about this, but good creator that I'd bring up is Schley. He didn't bend, and he's doing amazing. He purged all of them.
If you look at a list of people just throughout history that don't bend and don't apologize, you're always better off. I've said that for years now.
Oh,
you're always better off. You never ever apologize. You know when you should apologize? When you actually did something wrong and you feel bad about it. And most people don't do that. Most people don't, like, they won't apologize even under those circumstances, you know. And I bet they wouldn't either. But that's it. When you actually did something wrong, all this stuff is bullshit. Stick it up your ass. Be like Trump. All right. Talk to you later.
Oh, that's that. All right. See you.
I gotta move on. Let's move on to another topic. Let's see. Mormon guy was next, or we gave Hellbent another shot. Hellbent.
Hello.
Hey. You tell me what's going on. What's your mind?
Hi. Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Nice
Long-time listener.
All right.
Caller. In defense of Jameskii, all right.
Okay.
I think so. His main gripe with TwoMad seemed to be that TwoMad would constantly bring up that Jameskii is Russian, and Jameskii would say that it would trigger his PTSD.
Good. Like what a softie.
And as a Russian, I can testify that I also have PTSD from living in that shithole.
What is he? Is he Danish? I don't know what Jameskii is.
You know what? I don't know.
Nobody knows what Jameskii is. They just know he's European.
It's funnier. I can't decide if it's funnier that he is Russian and he hates it so much, which, you know, I can understand, or if he's not and he hates being
I gotta be honest
Russian.
with you. He could be. He looks Nordic to me. Like I can kind of. Like, I lived in Europe a long time. I can tell. You know, because Russians always have a tint of Mongolian in them. You know, he looks a little too white. He looks Nordic to me, which might mean he's Finnish because the Finns really hate the Russians.
Well, Russia's large. Like, there's a lot of variation in there.
Yeah. But, that's true. But I always look for that hint of the Mongols, like Sergei Zubov. Mongol.
I definitely have the round face that comes with
You got the round face? That's all right.
I do, indeed.
That's all right. Are you hot? A lot of Russian. How old are you, first of all, before we start hitting on
I'm
you?
32.
I'm
32.
Are you hot? Are you hot? Were you a stripper at one time?
No. I wasn't hot enough for that, so I went ahead and got
Because
an
that's not true.
invitation.
So you weren't hot enough for that. That means you're hotter than 99.9% of American girls.
I'm not disputing that.
I knew it! Did I ever tell you what a Russian boy did to me when I was a young man? Did I ever tell you that story?
I haven't heard it.
No, you heard it. Matt heard it. You want to hear it? Well, here's the thing. When I started meeting Russians, it was when the wall fell, right? And a lot of them started, a lot of Russian Jews and regular Russians too. And like, I grew up in communist times. So we were always told that Russian women like wear babushkas and they're all like wrinkled and ugly. And all of a sudden in 1990, all these Russian broads start coming over. And they were smoking hot! There's no coincidence that Tony Soprano's always like, most of those strippers in The Sopranos are Russian. That's because every Russian girl was a stripper in New Jersey in the 90s. It just was like 100%. It wasn't even inaccurate. It was 100% true. And so getting a Russian girl in the 90s, and probably still is to a certain in New Jersey, in New York area, was like a badge of honor that you could handle them. All right. And this is my first experience. We had this smoking hot Russian. She worked at the Rio Diner in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right? And she had long blonde hair. She had that Russian attitude. She didn't take shit from nobody, right? And she had those pins you put in your hair when they're really, really long, right? Okay. Yeah. So everybody, like, you know how guys are, if they, you know, they want to go out with a girl, they want to meet a girl, then they kind of treat her like shit, right? And she would give it right back to them. These guys, she'd go, oh, you don't get to see me. No, I never did it because I was like, well, she never did nothing to me. And it would be like, they trolled her, you know, over and over again. So they would troll her. She would like kick him in the dick verbally, and we would laugh, and that would be the end of it, right? So when she gave us our coffee, because we used to stay in this diner all night, smoke cigarettes, she would like throw the coffee at them and then place mine down really, really nice, right? And then my buddy said, what do you teach his pet? And I'm like, I go, try not being an asshole and maybe she'll talk to you, you know? Hey, why don't you go talk to her, tough guy? Because I don't want to get kicked in the dick verbally, right? So finally, like, come on, do it. So I'll go, all right, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to go over there. She's going to kick me in the dick. It'd be funny. We'll laugh about it, right? I got up. I got the balls. It was a long walk, too, about 6 steps, right? I said, hey, would you like to go to a movie sometime if you're not busy? She turns around real quick and looks at me, and I'm like waiting for it. She goes, I get off of work at Friday night. You want to meet me here then? Yeah. Sure. Right? So I come back and I can see all my buddies at the table and they're like waiting to see like this moment. I just came back. It's like motherfucking coolest guy in the planet. I just sat down, started drinking my shit, pretended like nothing happened. So what you say? What's happened? What happened? So I'm meeting her Friday. Right? And they're like, oh shit. So I went down the shore that week, got a tan, right? I bought new clothes. I was ready to fucking go. Now, keep in mind, I'm still like, I think I just dropped out of college, right? So I'm still living with my parents. So it was 2021, somewhere around there, right? So,
you didn't have enough money.
You're getting there, but it didn't even get that far, yeah. So, but she was my age. We were both born the same year, 76, right? So, I met her, and another thing, she's already agreed to this, so I have no reason to think. I would have thought that prior, but I had no reason to think this because she said yes, like yeah, sure, no problem, yeah, it'd be great. So I go in, I see her right away, okay, and she goes, sit in that booth over there. I got you, right? I'm like, I can't believe this fucking happened. I mean, I look fucking good, haircut, the whole fucking night. She comes in, she sits down, and she writes on a diner napkin, right? She writes names of cars. Right, and then the other side says like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, or 100,000. Right? She goes, look. She goes, I come from a very poor country and a very tough upbringing, right? And I know what I'm worth. All right. These are, and she starts pointing at these numbers to make a year are unacceptable. These numbers are acceptable, but you can get around the per year if you drive these cars. And she looked me like right in the fucking eyes, right? And I was trying to think of something. I couldn't say you bitch, you this, you nothing. I didn't even think that. I was just like, I felt kicked in the gut. I was like, Scream's playing Friday. And that was when Scream came out. And she goes, listen, I'm really sorry. I know, she goes, I know this makes me look like a bitch, but this is, you know, I just want the best. My parents and me, they want the best for me. And she got up and fucking walked. And I sat at that diner for the next 2 hours, just staring at the fucking wall. I couldn't fucking believe it. I went from like so high to so low. And to even tell you, like, before she got to the table, those little pins in her hair, she pulled them out. And that long blonde hair just flew all over the fucking place, right down to her ass. She was like even hotter than I thought she was in her dining uniform, right? And I just sat there. So that's always been my review of Russian women. Ever since.
Honestly, I respect that she was so upfront about
Yes and no. Yes, I do expect, like, I don't think you have to be, because I don't think you have to be that materialistic, but she could have looked me, she could have figured out that I didn't make that. I was a kid. And so was she. She should have said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. You know? I would have rather kicked me in the nuts right there and then, like the week prior. You know, I do respect, yeah, girls got to set a standard. I get that. And if you got a guy fucking jerking off, looking at anime and fucking really good at Overwatch, I get it, right? But you don't got to, like, write numbers down in the card. Yeah, have goals, but keep them to yourself, you know? You don't have to be that big of a...
Yeah, suppose. I mean, like, this was like, quite a while ago. So I imagine she probably has had a rough upbringing. I was born like 2 months before the USSR was dissolved. So like,
so you don't remember. You don't remember any of that shit. See, they were also told Americans. So she grew up. She's my age. So she remembers as a student hearing how awful the United States were, and I, vice versa, how awful the Soviet Union was. So we grew up in the same kind of time span. So yeah, it was a different view. But the Russian girls are known to be exceptionally like cold and like materialistic to the point where they're just unlovable. You know.
Well, when they're hot, yeah. My mom told me I'm not pretty enough to have those kind of demands.
Your mother,
so.
that's the that's the fucking thing. You guys are so cold. You tell your own daughter she's not pretty enough. What the fuck's wrong?
Oh
with
yeah,
you
absolutely, yeah.
Hey, no Mercedes, no Mercedes for you. You're gonna have to settle for.
But that's why I'm funny now. So there you go. All right,
Do you live in Europe or you live in the United States?
Yeah. I live in the UK.
Well, okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
I'm British now. Brexit means Brexit.
All right. Take care, Albert. Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.
Stay away from those Russian frauds. Let me tell you. All right, Mormon guy, how you doing?
Hey, good. Speaking of lolcows who have drug issues, who might die young, are you guys gonna book Justa Minx for the show?
What? She's too I think she does Irish people a bad name.
Well, she's talking about Justa Minx had like a weird stream where she like looked like she was overdosing.
Oh well.
I mean, it's like only use me blade levels bad.
Yeah. I know. I because I think that would be exploitive. How about that? I couldn't get her anyway. What am I gonna do? Like, she's crossed the plane where like there was like a time where I think I could goof on her and stuff, but now it's just like it's like kicking a dead TwoMad, you know. So there's nothing. I mean, look, if me personally, no. If lolcow wanted them on, yeah, I'm sure we take her, you know. But I don't pull those types. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah.
I mean,
because that's the thing. We're gonna get somebody like that, and they're gonna fucking die, and they're gonna blame us like they blame Keemstar over Etika, you know. And I'm not. I don't want. I would rather not deal with that, you know.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that is what's going. And you heard it here first. That's what's going to happen to lolcow one of these days. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be in charge of the optics on. Keemstar killed Etika. Yeah, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in charge of all the optics. So I work like I saw that she looks like she's on heroin. I don't know how many fucking Irish people I knew like from the old country in the States were fucking on heroin. It's a real problem. It was they made a movie on heroin dealers. What is it called? Veronica Guerin. The Irish love their heroin. What can I tell you? I don't know if she's on it or not, but it sure fucking looks like it to me. That looked like heroin to me. Like,
yeah,
and it's not funny, you know. I don't want her to die. I mean, you know, I want to get her life together. But you know, she could see. You really can see she's aged in the last year. You know, she kind of looks like she's 30 now.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's fucked. But on a lighter note, Do you still remember some of the highlights of TwoMad? Those photos with Belle Delphine still make me laugh.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what I would do if I were you? If you really want to piss off Jameskii, tell people you really like that thing with Belle Delphine.
It was so fucking funny, dude.
It was funny. You know what's interesting about that? Did Belle ever comment on TwoMad's death? Do we know anything?
Yes, she wrote a really good statement that was actually probably one of the best things someone said about whoever came out publicly.
Yeah.
Out of all the people that came out publicly, she had the best.
She had a short visit with them. They worked together. They had a lot of fun filming something. And yeah. What is she gonna say? If she said something bad, I would have been a little like.
No, she said we worked together. I enjoyed his time with him, and that I get that all these horrible things are being said about him.
Yeah.
But in the moment with him, he was a great guy.
You find her. Yeah. That's the right way to handle it, I guess. Sure. I watched that video. They look like they had a fucking blast, the both of them. Looked like fun to me. So.
Yeah, one other shout out to TwoMad is he did a couple videos with a group called Off Canny, and one was they go to stunt school, and then the other one was they do voodoo magic, and it was some of the funniest shit too I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
So it's been banned off all YouTube for TOS. But it's some of the,
he was African. He wasn't like African American or African North American. He was African, correct? Like, does anybody know what country he was from in Africa? Or
look it up, but yeah, you're correct. He's African.
Yeah, he was African. I know. Like, I just wondered what his ethnicity was. Nigerian. Okay. Somebody's friend. Actually, I can't. That's JFA. I can't believe I would even consider for a second that you might be right about anything. What the fuck was I thinking?
I mean, some of this, I've stopped caring about a lot of the artists. I know a lot of artists are fucked up. It's kind of, that rock and roller song that used to play a lot of hockey games.
Oh, they still do. They used to be the Devil's Goal song, Rock and Roll Part 2 by Gary Glitter. That's it. Yeah, he's big pedo. He goes to Vietnam so he can molest little boys.
Oh yeah, come on. Or the
the guy doesn't even sing in it.
Hey.
It's awesome.
It's a great song.
Hi. Everybody knows it's the Hey song. Yeah.
R. Kelly with Ignition. Ignition. Is
he's in jail, right?
Yeah.
I even I Believe They Can Fly. I like that song too. So.
He didn't sing that, right? Did he? R. Kelly sung that? I Can Believe It.
Yeah, I swear that.
That's Seal.
Kelly.
Yeah, no, that's R. Kelly.
No, Seal's Touched by a Rose.
Oh, yeah, same song. I believe I can fly. Oh, R. Kelly. You're right. I always thought that was Seal.
But anyway, that's kind of why I.
Sorry, I had to. He just kept going and going. I just
disconnected. What's the matter with you? Why?
It just was one of those calls. He just kept going and going and going.
All right. Okay. Captain Poofers.
I'm hungry. I want to go get some food.
Go eat. I'll finish it off. Go ahead. Get out of here. Bye. Captain Poofers, you're on the air.
Oh, okay. Hey, I sent you something real quick on the Gamergate situation. There's the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.
Wow, you managed to do it before you got here. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm high speed, okay?
The Gamer Geek. High speed, low drag here. Sure, maybe you never saw, but just because you never saw it doesn't mean it didn't happen. A blind man can see the sky. A blind man can see the sky. Does that mean the sky can't see the sky? Doesn't mean it exists. Plus, they're literally have a CEO of Sweet Baby telling to terrify their marketing team if they won't make a character less white or queer. Whoa! Oh, so this is fucking done and then some. Hold on, let me hear this.
Yeah, it's an 11-second video.
Your higher ups, and if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. Put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. Put this stuff up to your higher ups.
You know, I have a little bit of a problem with this because the way it's edited. But yeah, I mean, I could believe it. I mean, it doesn't mean the edit's dishonest. Yeah, but you know, here's the thing. That's what they do. So even if this is out of context, that's what these companies do. You know, makes sense. Because this guy kind of sets it up by making it less white or queer. She doesn't say any of that, so I can't really put this on her. But yeah, I could believe that. Sure, terrify them. Tell them we're gonna call you racist. Sure, I could believe that for sure. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Yeah. Other than the same shit that we've been seeing, like from even Alec Holowka's sister is involved in this shit. It's wild. It's just fucking wild.
Well, if you're looking to me to cover Gamergate 2, you probably came to the wrong place. I don't care that much. I went through the first Gamergate. It was fun. It probably got me into being an influencer type guy. I can't believe I say that ironically now. But it's just the whole culture war thing has really become not entertaining to me. Only if it gets. That's another thing. The first Gamergate got really goofy. There was people on the other side that were like lolcows, right? So there really isn't this time. But I have to admit, this time it's spookier if the government's involved in making things less white. If the government's involved in anything, making anything less white or more queer, there definitely should be some kind of penalty for that. And the government should not be involved in the entertainment industry.
We got Ralph retort from it, so obviously it's great. I mean,
we got a lot of losers from Gamergate, to be honest with you. Did you want to finish something, Mormon guy, before Matt hung up on you so cruelly?
Oh, I was just gonna say long live TwoMad, but that's obviously a little too late to say. With the Gamergate 2 thing, Tommy, it's running out of steam because there's not like new developments.
Yeah, and they're not. There's no YouTuber to make fun of. You know what I mean? I honestly, I don't think I'm gonna get involved in it.
Yeah, we don't. There's not a Anita Sarkeesian.
Like she was like a YouTuber. You know, there's nothing. But I mean, it's worth like keeping tabs on, especially if the government's involved. Like, get the fuck out of here! You're trying to make where's the government get involved in making things less white or more white or less black or more black? I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, I got to read my stuff and then say goodbye.
All right, peace out, Tommy.
Okay,
take care.
Later.
Take care. All right, let's we'll do a actually I'll put the event up now. We'll do an after show. I might watch something for 30 minutes or take calls or whatever if you want to talk a little more personally. I will set it up right now. After show. What's today? Today's the 15th, so yeah, that's what I thought. 15th, yeah, it's gonna be in the future. 12 a.m. Oh well, I should have said 16th after all, huh? What time is it? Oh, it's like 10. I don't know. I don't even know what time it is. It's amazing. Let's see, 2300. How about that? There we go. Bang. All right, so that thing's up. Yes, you got to be a part of the. You got to have one of your memberships sync with Discord before that can go off. And yeah, that sucker's up right now. But Colossus Crazy donated $5. Versed. It was the drugs. No shit. Different. It's a different person. Thanks so much. Clap, subscribe. God, I welcome TwoMad to the gates of heaven. TwoMad's ghost. Ayo, Tommy. What's this I hear about you being disloyal to my brother JFA twice? Your picture quality keeps dropping. My potato N-word. Thank you. Satan. Hello, Satan. Can confirm TwoMad allegations are true. He's dead, having a great time at Epstein and James Somerton. Cyoban, we already read his thing out. It's subscribed. And Miller subscribed, Twisted. And thank you so much from that. Let's go to the supers, super dupers. Harry Resilient. Belly now deleted her Twitter account, asked for privacy, and my channel is being attacked. Harry Resilient. Jameskii guy's a piece of work. Captain Poopers. Tommy, it's really Gamergate 2. Nathan Grayson's writing article about it. I read that one before too. Also, Gaw 004. Jameskii didn't say TwoMad's going to be. Didn't Jameskii say he was going to be arrested for giving up his airsoft guns? Yes. Let's see. Poovers, he also donated another $15. Thanks so much. Gaw 004. He wrote the lesson for all is don't go to LA. Yeah, that's a good point. SMK Jay's podcast. What up, Tommy? Hope all is well. Thank you. Trippy Savage. Rusty Cage is now building the Minecraft Dawn Guillotine. Good for him. And that's all we have. And then, of course, we have Patreons, which we read at the end of every show. If you 100%, you're on your own with the other stuff. No community. Here I gotta click on all this horse shit. One time I clicked on this, everybody saw it, and I got yelled at. I doxed half my kind of doxed my community. Not a good move, by the way. Never do that ever. Let's see my community. Here we go. How come? Oh, can I not do this now? Audience. Yes, I am booming over here. And we will go through the current tier of 10s. Abby Blackbird, Ashley B, Blue Jacket, Cody, Everborn, Latchkey Gothboy, Little Manly, Mrexon, Nesquick, Oatbag, Panic Punk, Pilkington, Reynolds Hughes, Tommy C. Scat, Trippy Savage, Who Are You, Irish, and yeah, that's all of them, I think. God, I hope. Oh no, current tier. I think I might have missed somebody here. I want to do that. Not the pledge. Pledge, yeah, pledge. Somebody's still pledging $1. I wonder if they're dead. Used to be only $1, but I guess if you're locked in, you're kind of grandfathered in. And no, I'm looking at the thing, and that's we got it. All right, everybody, you have a great one. And I think, yeah, Picklington, that's the only guy I forgot. And all the best. GG's. And I'll see you at the after show. Peace. See you later. Bye.